Hi Engineering Janta, I am Vaibhav Shukla and today we are going to learn about sorting, and alongside sorting we learn about selection sort, which is the primary topic for today. This is another video in the free DSA series that we are building for you so that you thrive in your career. Okay. So before I go ahead, let's understand what is sorting. होती क्या है sorting? Any increasing or decreasing order with respect to any attribute is called sorting. Okay. Why I just said ke with respect to an attribute. Why did I say this? The reason is I tell you to sort 5 boxes with respect to their size in the increasing order of their size. So you need to understand that increasing order of what? So that is the attribute size. Okay. Decreasing order of size or decreasing order of length or decreasing order of volume, these are all attributes, right? So you need to understand that any increasing order or decreasing order with respect to any attribute is called as sorting. Fine, I'll dive in deep into what sorting is, what selection sort is, but before we go ahead, do the daily ritual, follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn, connect with us on WhatsApp and Telegram, because here we post some very cool and interesting information as well as the hiring updates for you. So don't miss out on that. Also, top 3 comments today get Prep Insta Prime subscription for free. So go ahead, get your subscriptions. Okay. Now, coming to what is sorting, I just explained. एक sorted order क्या होता है? Increasing or decreasing values या increasing or decreasing order किसी चीज का with respect to any attribute is called sorting. I just explained that, right? There's an example written behind me. I'll tell you that example. Consider that you have 5 toy cars, okay? And in those 5 toy cars, you need to arrange them in a row in the increasing order of the size. Fine, they are all of different sizes. Fine. Now what you will do is, the easiest way to do this is, check the 5 cars, out of them pick out the smallest car, put it at the first position in the row. Then go ahead, check for the, out of the remaining cars, check for the smallest again, the car with the minimum size, check for that out of the remaining ones. Whichever is smallest, whichever is minimum in the size, pull it out, put it at the second place. Then again, out of the remaining cars, check the smallest, put it at third place, and that's how you'll sort it. Very simple job. This is selection sort. इतना आसान है selection sort, believe me, यही है. Exact this thing is called selection sort. Just flip this situation a bit. I tell you that you now have to sort them in the decreasing order of their size. Fine. So first should be the largest, last car of the row should be the smallest. What you will do is, you will check what is the biggest car, you pull out the biggest car and then you put it at first position. Then out of the remaining, you will find which is the biggest, you will put it at second place, then third, then fourth, in the similar fashion. This is again selection sorting. So basically, the process of repeatedly finding the smallest or largest according to the sorting that you are trying to do, increasing or decreasing order. Okay. So smallest or largest element and swapping it is called selection sort. Okay. Very, very simple, very easy. I'll tell you with another example. बिल्कुल आसान चीज है, believe me. This is the easiest sorting. Consider that this is an array 10, 8, 11, 13, 17. This is not at all sorted, right? This is not at all sorted. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the indices. Fine. Now, just stay with me here and see. If I want to sort it according to selection sort, what did I tell you? Check the whole array, see which is the smallest, which is the minimum. This is the minimum, 8 is the minimum. At the first index, put the, at the 0th index, at this index, put 8. Fine, swap it. Now, out of the remaining portion, 10, 11, 13, 17, check again which is the minimum. 10 is the minimum. Swap it and put 10 at the second place. Fine. Now, check which is again the minimum. 11, 13, 17. 11 is the minimum. 11 is the minimum, then 13 and then 17. Okay. How this will happen using a program, I'll just explain you with an example of program as well. But what we were trying to do is, you stay here and find out which is the minimum of all, put it at its right place. Fine. What we did was, we tried finding out which was the minimum element, we swapped it here, right? Then we swapped it, it became 8, this became 10, right? Basically what I'm trying to say is this became 8, this became 10. Now this particular element, this is now fixed, you don't need to look at it again. Now just see out of them which is the minimum. 10 is the minimum, it is already there. This is whole sorted array, no? Now, so if I take another example, if I had told you that this is not 11 but this is 9, say this is 9, okay? So in that case you would have again checked for the minimum. In that case this particular value would have been swapped here, isn't it? So out of all you check the smallest and you put it at right place. Simple. This is selection sort. How do we do that in a program? I'll show you, don't worry. This is the program that is used for selection sort. I have written it here, okay? I'll explain you step by step how this happens. And what we are trying to do here is, we have passed an array here and the length of the array or the number of elements in the array. Very simple. What's basically happening here is, I've explained this in the previous videos that how array is passed in a function, how this particular length of the array or the number of elements in the array are being calculated. This has been explained in the previous 2 videos. You can go ahead and watch it if you haven't done this, okay? So what is basically happening here is, you get an array, you get the size or the length of it, pardon. You have the length of it and then you have one loop here, okay? What does this loop do? Say that you have this array, okay, some random array, I'll take 11, 7, 39, 54 and then 5, then 13, okay, something like this. This 13 is quite interesting 13. I don't want such interesting things in my array. I want neat and clean 13, so I'll make it fine. This is good. This is now looking good. Now we have this array, these are the indices. If you haven't studied what are indices, you can go ahead, check our video. We have an array, we have very well explained it in that video, fine. So what I'm trying to do here is, this loop will iterate till this index. How come? There are 6 elements if I'm not wrong. Yes, there are 6 elements, right? So if I is less than n, which is 6 here, the number of elements in the array, basically that means that I will range till from 0 to 5. The current value is 0, it can go up till 5, okay? Now we have one variable as min slash idx, not slash, min underscore idx. What does this basically mean? I'm trying to represent minimum index or the place where the minimum value is lying, or the place, the pointer which is pointing to the minimum value, okay? So that is minimum index, fine. Now I'll call it min from now on in this video so that you have an easy understanding of things, fine. So this pointer is particularly set here. I'll show you. This is min right now. Why so? Because I is 0 right now, min idx, this is assigned, the I value is assigned to this particular variable. I am representing it from min. So min is basically nothing but it is right now 0. So the index that is stored in min is 0, fine. Now there is another loop. What is happening in this particular loop? Understand carefully. We have a new particular variable called j, which is pointing here. How come? We have said that j is equal to I plus 1. I was 0, j is pointing here. I plus 1, 0 plus 1 is 1. So j is pointing to the index 1. Now j will also iterate till this particular value because j is also less than 6. In the same manner, j can go up to 5 and j will increment after every iteration of this loop. So what happens here is, if array of j, if the value at jth index, the index j, if the value at this particular index is lesser than the value at the index pointed out by min, then what you have to do is, you need to update the value of j as the minimum index or the min value. What I am saying is, just look through the example. Here the value at this particular place, array of j, it is equal to 7, right? And the array at minimum index, which is nothing but 0, is 11. 7 is definitely less than 11. So this if condition is true. This is 7, this is 11. This condition stands true. So what happens is, you now make the value of min equal to j. What you basically do is assign the value of j to min. So you now make min equals to 1, which was earlier pointed out by j. So your new min is at this place. Okay. Now min is at this place. This is not the min anymore. Now this will again iterate because j will increment. J will go further. This loop is going on right now. J will go further. J will point out here. Now we'll check. Is this value 39? Is it smaller? Because this is array of j again. We are checking this if condition again. Is 39 smaller than array of minimum index, which is nothing but pointed out here, which is 7? Is 39 smaller than 7? Is it true? No, it is not true. So what we'll do is, this particular if block will not function. J will update. Now this is the j. As soon as the j gets updated, what happens here? Again we check this particular condition. We check this condition, we see 54 is not less than 7. Again this particular if condition is false. Now this min index will not be updated. So j is again incremented. Now if you see, when we check it again, array of j, which is 5, is less than array of minimum index, which is 7. 5 is less than 7, this is true. So again this particular function, this particular block would execute, this if block, and now the new min would be pointing out at this position. J is not anymore here, min would be pointing out to this, right? Now j is again updated due to the counter being incremented every time. Now if you check again, j, array of j is 13, 13 is not less than 5. This is false, this will not execute. The execution of this loop is over, because as soon as j increments, now j becomes 6, 6 is not less than 6, this is false. So this will not anymore execute. What will happen is, we come out of this execution, fine. What we will have here is, once it is done, we come out of this loop's execution, we come here, we do the swapping now. So min is pointing out to this particular location. What we do is, we store this particular value 5 as the temporary, in the temporary variable. This is temp, the temporary variable. This whole code piece is for swapping. Okay. So what we do is, we store this 5 in the temp. Array of min index equals to array of I, which was this. I was 0 initially, right? So here I basically push this 11, and in the place of 11, if you see, array of I equals to temp, which is 5. So how this comes here? How does this look now? Just a minute, I guess that has some pieces written there, so I'll write it here. 5, 7, 39, 54, 11 and 13. Now if you see, these are swapped, fine. Now what you do is, you fix this particular place. Now you are not going to look at this, okay. What you will do is, again repeat the same process for I is equal to 1, because I is now here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the indices are same. I is pointing out here, fine. So we keep this as min, we keep this value as min now, and then start checking again. How do we do that? We put j here, j points here. Now 7 is less than 39, that's true, so you don't need, so 39 is not less than 7. If actually what we are comparing is array of j, so 39 is not less than array of minimum index, 39 is not less than 7, false, this will not execute again. Now 54 is not less than 7, it will again not execute. So j will keep on incrementing, right? The j value would keep on incrementing every time, and then it reaches here. It again doesn't stand true. Any of the condition doesn't stand true here, right? So this is, the 7 is actually the smallest value out of all of them, right? Now this 7 is again fixed here. Then what you do is, I'll remove all this so that we can iterate again here. What we'll do now is, we fix I again, right? I is here, I is pointing out here. So what does this mean? I is again assigned to min, so this again becomes min. Now you check, now the j portion is here. Now what you do is array of j, is 54 less than array of min, which is 39? No, it is not, it is again false, so it is fine. But as soon as, so this if won't execute, no, as soon as j gets updated, now there is a glitch. Why so? Because 39 is actually bigger than 11. 11, which is array of j, is less than array of minimum index, which is 39. So this stands true. Now what we do is, j gets incremented, j goes here, and the min value points here. Now when you check for the further iteration, min array of j is not less than array of min. This is not true, so this won't execute again. Min would stay here and the swapping would happen again. What would happen in swapping? Nothing but 39 and 11 would switch places. So what happens here is, this switch places, 11 comes here, 39 comes here, fine. Now when we go ahead and again do the same process, we try and again do the same process. So this particular value is fixed now, 11 is fixed, this is fixed here. What we do is, we repeat the same process again. I is actually pointing here now, I is 3 in the further iteration, I has been incremented, I becomes 3. We put I value in minimum index, so min is pointing here now, right? And now we check whether we are doing the things in the right manner or not. So what we have is, the j would point out here because j is always I plus 1. Now if you see carefully, this particular portion, array of j 39 is lesser than array of minimum index, which is 54. This stands true, so min will update, j will go on further, j will point here now, and min will basically start pointing at this particular position at 4th. Now min will point out, okay. So min is here, j is here. Now if you check it again, is array of j lesser than minimum array of min? Yes, it is. Again min will go ahead, min will point out here. So once the iteration is over, what happens is, the minimum index that we get here, the value at minimum index is 13. It will switch the places here. These both will switch the places. So what happens is, I switch these places and then 13 and 54. And now if you carefully see, this whole array is sorted. If you still want to go further, you can go and you will find nothing will change. The same process will repeat. It will actually repeat till this particular place and nothing will change, and what you will get is this sorted array. So that is how selection sort actually functions, okay. This is very easy. You do one thing for sure, you take a register, write this code and dry run it on paper. When you do this, believe me, you will never ever forget selection sort. It is so easy, but you need to once dry run it on a paper in the same manner I am doing it. Do it alongside this video. Take the register, go back, start from where I started running this particular function and write it yourself. Dry run it on the paper, okay. That would help you a lot. That would drastically change the way, the perspective you have about selection sort. You will never ever forget it, okay. So that is all about selection sort. What you can do is, there are links in the description, fine. You go ahead, you follow them and you follow these social media handles so that you never miss a hiring update. Also, top 3 comments get Prep Insta Prime subscription for free. So do comment below this video so that you don't miss that golden opportunity. Whatever you learn in this video, go ahead, spread in your peers, spread to the people who need it, spread to your juniors, fine. Just without expectation, keep doing good. Good will come back to you. Thank you. That's all for today.